All right, we're back. Season 5 of the league. We are semi-finals of the playoff system.
Semifinals.
Yes, sir.
Semifinals.
You hear him. Let's talk about it. Pro Hooper, coach, the man that might be able to get your handles right, but he can only do so much. Bagwork, how you feeling, big dog?
Feeling good, man. Glad to be back here for another week.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Top of
sir.
2026 gonna be the best year yet.
My up, you're down. My left, you're right. The man that's still in the hunt right now with a big matchup from Georgia, Fries.
What's up? What's up? What's up, man? How y'all doing? Happy to be back. Uh, yeah, we're in right in that mix right now, trying to stay locked in. Hopefully everybody's having a good start to their New Year's. All blessings and stuff, man.
Oh, for
Talk some
sure.
ball.
Yeah. Happy holidays, Merry Kwanzaa, all the good stuff. Hope everybody is healthy and blessed to see many more. Quick point of order. Let's talk about this Alabama game.
Oh man.
Nothing. Was it what was the final score? 3 to
38 to 3. First time they lost by 35 since 1998.
um. It wasn't a good showing for the SEC right there. We have a couple big Alabama supporters, and that was just I think their spring game might have looked better than that. Fries, how'd you feel about the game? I don't know if you was in depth watching it, but what was
Oh
your take
yeah.
on it?
I feel like they got just outplayed in every aspect of the game. Like it really wasn't too close ever at any point. Yeah, they felt it was very unlike Bama, like old Bama. I think it's clear that era is just long gone. Saban ain't walking back through that door, man. They don't play the same style. Don't seem like they're that well coached. Like kind of unprepared. Just eye open to see. Shout out Indiana though, man. One of my good mans went to Indiana. He's been locked in all season, and he went to the game, so he's living right now.
Bagwork, talk to me is because I know you've been very vocal about them riding on the SEC wave. Is the SEC where
Mhm.
you thought it was, or is Indiana really just that good this year?
I think it's some of both. I mean, I think Indiana's got a really good team. Signetti's got them rolling. They're playing for something. They're in a great space. So I mean, they are really good, but to lose by 35 points to any team speaks more about the team who lost than the team who won, in my book. And yeah, it just kind of speaks to, like I've been saying, all that stuff people say about the SEC from 10 years ago just isn't true today. I mean, they're not the by far the most talented. I think it still is the most talented conference in general, but it's not head and shoulders like it used to be 10 years ago. They're not the toughest. They're not the most physical. They don't play some exceptional brand. Like their teams that are in the middle are shitty, just like everyone else's conferences. Well, particularly the Big Ten. The middle is also, wishy-washy. They're the same now. I mean, and their top end teams aren't as good as the big. I mean, aren't necessarily better than the Big Ten's top teams. So all that stuff from 10 years ago, where we were the fifth best team in the SEC and we're still better than the Big Ten. That's not true anymore. Simple as that. It's much closer. They're very comparable. And I think, the bowl games and playoffs have proven that.
Okay, okay, good to hear. And before we move on, just the last question. I don't know if we have too many Notre Dame fans in the league, but let's have a quick discussion about it. Alabama lost their conference championship. BYU lost their conference championship. The only difference was BYU slipped out and Alabama did not. Should Notre Dame have been in over Alabama from this perspective? I'll let you go with that one back.
I mean, in my opinion, no, I don't think they should have gotten over Alabama. I mean, at least Alabama did play a championship game. Notre Dame needs to play a championship game. Notre Dame needs to be in a conference. But I do think that the including the G5 teams and the 4 highest rated conference championship winners, that rule is doing the college football playoff a disservice. And Notre Dame should have been in one of those last 2 spots for sure, for certain, over JMU and Tulane. But in terms of being in there over Alabama, I mean, no. I mean, Alabama was more tested all year. Notre Dame had tests and failed them. You know, I mean, who did Notre Dame beat all season? USC? Is that
I think
that's
so.
their best win?
USC and I think Pitt.
Yeah, it's like, what are we talking about? They don't deserve to be in it any more than Bama does. I mean, you know,
Gotcha.
so Notre Dame's schedule, like, yeah, that's not a SEC schedule. Like, there's a big gap there. But so yeah, in my opinion, no, I don't think that Notre Dame should have got in over anybody. I think they conference and um prove themselves more during the season.
Gotcha. Uh, speaking of, their schedule's only going to get weaker. I think they are not going to play USC for the next till 2030, I believe, or at least that's the earliest they can reschedule it. The way it's happening, I think USC has seen that wins almost matter more than anything else, and then for there not to be any real skin in the game for Notre Dame, while USC still has to play the likes of Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, UCLA. I don't blame them. Rivalry or not, it's I'll make more money in the playoffs than playing Notre Dame every year.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, it just makes sense.
so before we dive into it, Frost, how do you feel about the state of college football? Do you think it's still too profit driven? Do we see these rivalries kind of slipping away because of the playoffs, or do you think it's in a healthy spot right now?
I think it's in a good spot, pretty competitive. I mean, you got Indiana is probably the best team in the country. So like things like that, keep people coming back, wanting to watch because you never really know. Like things year to year, still a lot of variance. Like Indiana in it, it's just crazy. Those dudes are probably gonna play for. I mean, they got a chance. We'll see if they win, but them being alive still is insane to me. So I think from that standpoint, it's in a good space. They definitely got to tweak the playoff format a little bit, but it's still new relatively format wise. So I'm
Right.
sure they'll make the right changes and get right. But I don't need to see JMU playing. I'm sorry, I don't need to see them playing and getting smacked or Tulane.
Gotcha. I'm not one to fix all of it, but I do think if the G5, and I don't want to disrespect them because you want to give everybody a fair shot. If the G5 had their own playoffs, and then when they just pulled from the pool of money from the actual college football playoffs, I think that might be able to solve it because I know a big part of it is the money portion.
Hmm.
So if they were still to get the same payoff but just have more availability to G5 teams, I think that would kind of solve a couple of those problems. Um, just to just to ease the blow, because I know everybody was like, "Oh, they want the same." I don't care. Alabama and JMU are still not the same. Even on a down year for Alabama, it just and we've seen it. We saw the result.
Hmm.
Oregon put the twos in, and it made the score look a little better, but it still wasn't where it needed to be. But we're gonna start off with a little different. Going into the grind, we're gonna look at the conference layouts real quick. While I'm pulling that up, bag as a commish, would you mind going over the reward system real quick for those that aren't familiar with the new conference system?
Yeah, so this one's a little bit different. We moved to like the tier promotion relegation system that we had in the league, but it's a little bit altered. So in this league, there's only one tier one, and that's the SEC. I think there's 5 teams in there only. So they'll have to play each other, fight it all out. And then from there, we have 2 conferences that are in tier two. Um, I think it's the Big Ten and the Big 12, and I think there's 8 teams in each of those, which is going to be a really 7 teams each in these, which is going to be a really gritty kind of battle. A lot of really good players here, but no just OP over the top crazy teams that you have to compete with in conference relatively. And then the third tier is the SEC or ACC, and I think there's like maybe 13 or 14 teams in there actually, and they're split into 2 divisions, and the winner of the division will compete for a championship. And so yeah, how it's going to work this year is we're not going to have anybody going down because the top of the league only has 5 teams in Tier 1. So if you make the conference championship at the ACC, you'll go up. And if you win the conference in the Big 10 or Big 12, you'll go up for certain. Potentially, if you make the playoff this year, you might go up to that Tier 1 as well, depending on how things shake out. But the only guaranteed people to go up are the conference champions. And no one's going down. And from there, if you play a team a tier up, you get rewards. So like if you're in Tier 3 of the ACC, and you play a Big 10 or Big 12 opponent out of conference and you win, you'll get either +3 physical or +10 non-physical. And actually, if you went and played an SEC team in Tier 1 from Tier 3, you'd get an even bigger boost, which is an 83 overall legend player, which is pretty dope. So, we just try to make it so that there's a reason to play all these games and trying to kind of make the competition, the playing field a little bit more even for everybody. So yeah, that's how it's set up. I mean, it's kind of unique, but a little difficult to understand. But try to break it down.
Only question I might have is was there a particular reason we didn't go ACC and Pac-12 versus 13 in the ACC?
The main reason was just that I didn't want to guarantee 2 Tier 3 teams a playoff spot. I felt like they're getting an easier schedule and they're getting a fair shake at making the playoff, but I don't want to make it to where they just get it so easily. Is kind of my thinking. But definitely could make 5 conferences total, and then that way theoretically we would have a completely full playoff. But yeah, that was kind of the reason why I went the way I went. Not to say it's necessarily right.
Gotcha. All right. Fries, let's start at the SEC. No automatic guarantees for this conference. Who do you think will take the conference and make the playoffs?
I mean, the top 1 team for sure. Elville is getting that done. I mean, Zev can definitely compete. His team is also hurt. I just played him last week. Good game. And UCF, the reigning champ, man. Got to put some respect on UCF. So it's a good little conference. Can you go to Louisville overall again for Louisville? Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be tough this year, especially. But hey, man, I'm gonna give the champ some respect. He got a chance. It's gonna be tough, but he got a chance.
For sure. Quick question for Bag. Does Arizona still have Arch and DJ?
Nope. Arts and DJ are gone. He did get a nice portal addition, but he's a pure pocket passer QB, but he turned out to be halfway decent. We were fighting, or I let Arizona have him in the portal because I didn't have that many points, but I would have went harder on him if I knew he'd be as good as he is. But Arizona's got some shit over there. I mean, he's building definitely one of the top teams. But yeah, I'm with Fries on this one. I mean, Louisville's team is just way too good. Impossible to match up with. And I think that is the deciding factor.
Gotcha. All right. Moving on to the Big Ten. Cincinnati, I know they played their game early versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech was able to get the dub. J. Roth and
Virginia
his
Tech won that game. Oh, I thought Cincinnati was up 17 with like 2 or 3 minutes to go. Cincinnati had to win that game. Cincinnati did win that game because Tech's only losses to
Virginia Tech won. I was watching
Louisville.
the game.
Oh, wait, I'm tripping. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, I was
I
watching
was
the game.
looking at I was looking at the my bad. I was looking at the score and I thought that Cincinnati was up the whole time I was watching,
Mm-mm.
so I'm mixed.
That's crazy work.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
it
man,
is.
did I
It
miss?
is.
But yeah, Cincinnati, Virginia. J. Roth with his running back and tight end. I won tight end of the year. Since we're finally talking about the league, we'll give him a shout out for that. UCLA, Utah looking 3-star still after back-to-back
Yeah.
decent seasons. Okay,
I didn't make the playoffs either year.
okay, gotcha. But I thought you still had like 7, 8 wins.
I did. I think I was like 8-5 last year.
Gotcha. All right. USC. If you need somebody to take over USC, just let me know. Texas Tech and Mississippi State. How you feel about this conference so far, Bag?
I think it'll be really competitive. Yeah, a lot of good users in there. Texas Tech has a really good team. And he's been playing good ball this year, so we'll see how he holds up as a year. We're building over at Utah. We got some good players. We got Harlem Berry, so there's that, and we got a nice crop of young guys. Illinois is always will make things spicy. And then yeah, Virginia Tech has probably the best team in Tier 2. I think he has Bryce Underwood and some more pieces, so they'll be solid. And Cincinnati's a good user as well, so it'll be interesting.
Gotcha. And just to be known, Bryce Underwood just for whatever reason just is coded not to stay at Michigan in this game. So whatever. Um, he's left every dynasty I've seen. He's left after year one. So bad work. How you feel about the Big Ten? Who you think is coming out the top two?
Top two. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna pick myself. I'll take. I mean, this is probably looks a little obvious, but I'm gonna take Tech and UCLA. UCLA is a new user, by the way, but
Okay,
he
that was my next question. Like, who is UCLA?
well, he beat OG.
Listen,
So
OG, hang in there, man. I know it's your expectations are sky high, so and just borderline suicidal stream titles because you didn't make the playoffs is crazy. But Frowz, who you got?
Great question. I'm gonna go with VT, man. What's up with VT? VT been playing good ball. We know he's got the latest on the interwebs, so he's about to roll that out, and he's been doing well with it. So I'm gonna go with VT coming out of there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep it moving. Big 12. Who you got there, Frowz? Here's the problem. I don't know all the users as well in this one.
Yeah,
so-
I was gonna say this is not Washington.
you know all the users in here in the league. You know all these dudes.
Space Jam. Who is Iowa in this one?
Elworm.
Oh yeah, okay. That's
I
who.
mean,
Kansas State is who?
He's UCLA in the league.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Beats me. That's a great question. Maybe Hoop's got a pretty good team, I'm sure. Over
He's
there.
1 and 2.
No conference games yet, though, right? Do you have a tough schedule? Probably a tough schedule.
No.
Trying to give him the benefit. Yeah,
Nah, he
UCF
did play.
is good.
He took a force for UCLA. Okay, so yeah, he lost to Vandy though. That's a pretty bad loss. But yeah, we all know Hoop can ball though.
Yeah, I mean Hoop's team probably the best in conference. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so. Him in Iowa.
Definitely
And
one
Washington.
of the favorites.
Yeah, you
know.
up there? Wait a minute. You go
Go
0 and
ahead,
come
go
out with
ahead,
a
skip on
92
by.
Wolverine?
Go ahead and skip on by us, man. We ain't making no noise.
Undefeated. Okay, we'll take that with a grain of salt, but we hear you.
Yeah, nah, we ain't making no noise, man.
Bag, who you got taking the Big 12?
I mean, to be honest, I think this one looks a lot clearer than the other one for me. I think Washington wins this league relatively easily. So, yeah.
I'm glad you think so, bro.
I mean, not only
Oh,
he
you beat
plays
Georgia
pretty
Tech.
much everyone
Yeah.
at home. He's got an out of conference game at UCF, but Kansas State at home, Michigan at home. He's got to go play Elworm on the road and Hoop on the road and yeah. I mean, nah, I'm taking him. Yep.
Gotcha. And last conference, ACC.
Mm. Yo, we got to put some respect on Dane because Dane is out here just running through this ACC shit.
You make it say like nobody
Train with
respects it.
Dane.
Yeah, it's like,
Best trainer in the league. Sorry, I'm just playing. Sorry.
wow. Shots
Oh, he
fired.
is. I think
Nah,
he is.
nah.
Based on track record, I mean, Dane's trained quite a few NBA
It's
players.
tough. It's tough. No,
Yeah.
I'm just playing. But yeah, you look pretty good over there, right? Look pretty good. You got about
Yeah, I think.
35 in the conference, though. I see what you're saying now. Okay, rolling
What'd you
deep over
say?
there.
Yeah, it's a
Like
lot.
everybody's in there.
It's a lot.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of teams that aren't very good. Well, there's that. There's a lot of teams that aren't very good, but also there's less teams that are OP in this league. Really, the only team that's just game breaking OP is Louisville, but past that you have like Georgia Tech, and then the other three have just shown to be really great users, and then the other teams that are really good are like Tech and UNC, as opposed to the league where there's a lot of teams that are so much better than the ACC. Here, like a lot of the teams in the ACC could easily just be in tier two as more of just a skill thing, in my opinion, for the most part. But the real differentiator is just that tier one only has 5 teams, so.
Yeah. So, gotcha. I guess we're all picking Wisconsin in that one. Who do you think wins the Natty? Bag.
Louisville.
Okay. Frowls.
Yeah, I mean it'd be a upset if he didn't with his team. Where's that guy Chucky? What team is Chucky over here?
He's NC State.
Yeah,
Okay,
Big
we ain't
12.
talk about NC State. What's going on with them so far? Been trying to push the grind podcast, so let's zoom in on them. What's he doing over there?
Winning at Kansas State's a big win. Oh, that was a sim though, because they didn't want to, like, they couldn't schedule it for whatever reason.
Who's Mizzou again? Around me?
Oh, Kenzo.
Oh yes, I mean it's tough on the road for anybody. Okay, yeah, we'll be tuned in, see what you got going on over there, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Got Oklahoma State this week. That'll be a good one. Oklahoma State needs a win.
Yes, sir. All right. We are. Any other conclusions for the grind before we move on to the league?
Not really, man. I mean, I like where it's going. People are really building some good teams. I like to see that there's quite a few teams in the 90s. So dudes are handling their business. If you're in the ACC, man, recruit. You gotta get the not sexy guys, man. You gotta get the 3 stars who not even 3-star gems, man. Like you need players, dude. If you see a 3-star dude with exceptional speed, exceptional strength, exceptional play recognition, exceptional whatever, that guy's got to come home. Don't try to go out here and get 5 stars because Louisville's going to get all of them anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on to the league. Oh, we can't even see the classes right now, can we?
On the league, dang, that sucks.
Yeah, because he can't recruit right now. Let's take a peek at this bracket though. We'll start there real quick since we only got a few more games left. Just starting off, North Carolina with computer, Ohio State and Texas with the first round matchup. Texas is able to. That was a really good game. Edge out the win late in the game with a field goal. I think it's like a 30-yarder. Wasn't nothing crazy. Um, and then Oklahoma and Clemson. Uh, to echo one of the hosts of the pod, Clemson's playing good ball right now. You want to talk on that, Fries?
Uh, yeah, I mean, that was a heck of a game. It always is versus my running back. Went a little crazy in moments for sure, but I usually expect it to be a one-score game when I play him. I just happened to have the upper hand that day. And I'm sure we'll talk about the Notre Dame game, but that was, I don't know if y'all watched it, but another pretty good game. That was heart rate was high, one of those kind of
Mm-hmm.
games. So yeah,
Versus
it was fun.
what would you call him, an S tier opponent? You know.
Hey man, he hell of a game. He got my full respect for sure.
Okay.
He got,
So
I'm done hating. I'm done hating.
okay.
He
So
played,
we
showed me something finally. I was waiting for it. He showed me something for sure. He can hoop.
so S tier opponent.
I'm not saying that. Let's not get out of hand. But he's definitely one of the top 5 to 7 players in the league, no question.
Wait a minute.
No question.
5 to 7. Okay.
Yeah, he's in that mix.
Okay.
He's in that mix.
Five to
I mean, what you
seven.
want me to say? He's two. I mean, I don't know
No,
where to
no,
put
no,
him.
no, no. I was just mentally thinking about. He's one of the best 5 to 7. So he's between 5 and 7, or in the top 5 to 7.
Yeah, I'll say he's in the top 5 to 7.
Okay.
Like the
Okay.
order is very just matchup dependent and game in game out dependent. I think, aside from like the top of the league. So he's good. Bottom line, he's good. Full respect. His user was good in that game. He made some great reads. Like he played butt off. I probably got lucky to win. Realistically, I was down late, pulled it out somehow.
Gotcha. Moving back to the other side of the bracket. Bad got a good win in the Fiesta Bowl against North Carolina, and then just happened to fall short in the Sugar Bowl at Tennessee. Talk to me about your playoff run this year.
Um, I mean, this is one of my least favorite teams I've had at LSU, but we're loaded. Um, and I'm glad that we were able to get a win against North Carolina. They beat us this year as a conference opponent. He beat us this year and the year before during the regular season, so it was good to get a win versus him, neutral site. Yeah, I didn't even really feel like playing against Tennessee, but just took the L like everybody else. I mean, he's 15-0, so what are you gonna do? Just kind of ran into the buzzsaw that team is, but yeah, we're losing a lot. I mean, honestly, I have a lot of players who I really liked on my defense who are going to be moving on most likely, and that group has been great all year. I think I haven't checked the stats, but I would assume we're definitely a top 25 defense, if not way better. But I'm excited for next year, man. I mean, I think next year is going to be one of those years where it'll be really fun again. Offensively, should have a lot of really good pieces. I don't think I'm losing anybody on my O line, and got a really good few running backs all coming back. Hopefully, if I can keep some of my backup quarterbacks, we'll have a really good quarterback and we'll have good receivers. And defense might not be as strong, but we'll definitely be able to keep it together. So I'm excited for next season.
Yes, sir. While we're here, do you have any predictions for the Georgia Clemson game that's happening shortly after this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to say like over under, I think I would take like Clemson like Mm, 23 and a half.
Wow.
Come on, dog.
Wow.
You're trying to put a jinx on me, man. What are we
Wow.
doing?
I just got to keep it
Wow.
real, man. That's how I see it.
Listen, not the fact that the spread is crazy. Shout out to Bag for finally learning the betting system. He said
I
minus
appreciate
23 and a
that.
half. So he knows that Clemson is the favorite by 23 points. If you're not familiar, the minus means you're the favorite. If you're not familiar, but
It only
listen,
took me like a couple years to figure that out, but
yeah, man, I like it. I like it. Credit where credit is due. Um, since we know Frowls refuses to pick games that he's actually playing in, let's just talk about your mindset heading into this game. Georgia, this will be the first game Georgia's probably played in game wise 3 weeks, probably a full 7 days, and such a high stakes game. What's your mindset going into this?
Don't let his running back break the game. It's my main thing. Um, he's, I mean, he's won a Heisman, so we know he's like that. Um, Georgia knows how I play defensively, so he also knows what I like to do. So we'll change up some looks, try to have him second think some stuff, and we'll see, man. It's gonna be a turnover battle usually. That's like in every game. So uh, we're gonna try to force him to turn that rock over, see what we can do, man. See what we can do.
Yes, sir. Glad to hear it. Good luck today to you and Georgia. Just looking for a
Appreciate it.
real competitive game, hopefully. Um, that's really the best thing you can always ask for. Let's go. Can't see classes. Award winners. Can we still see that?
should see that.
Shout out
The
to Georgia.
Heisman,
Yeah, Alvin Henderson
man, that dude. I'm
had
thinking
that.
about still writing him up for the Hall of Fame, honestly, off of one season. Like, can it be? Oh, he only played at Georgia for one season, so that's why I haven't done it. That's right. If he had played for Georgia for more than one season and just had this like a
Oh
2K
man,
year
to
like
go
this, I
from
mean,
not starting to a 2,000 yard rusher.
3 career carries before showing up in Athens.
What was Auburn doing with him?
I have no
That's what I asked him. I'm like,
Okay. Um,
like, yo, what the heck?
the Lord made it top three in Heisman voting. Another Ohio State running back cracking the top, and then platinum sidestep and platinum 360 for Carson Cox out of UCLA. Congrats to all the finalists. Um,
Let's not skip over Tommy Frazier, who had like
listen,
1K
I
on the 1K on the ground this year. I want to say 1K
did he
plus, maybe 1,500.
3,000 passing.
10 touchdowns to 11 picks is kind of crazy to be on the Heisman board, but
Yeah,
when you have what's that 21 on the ground,
yeah, 27. But
27 on the ground, that'll do it.
yeah, has better rushing stats than a lot of actual running backs. So, and to still pass it at a pretty high clip is impressive. So, sophomore, let's see if those caps get any better.
Not his throwing caps. That's Henderson though.
Yeah, kind of stuck on throwing caps.
Can't really get that much better to be honest. I mean,
Listen, it's
IQ and health, I mean for sure, but
uh,
manpower. I mean, he can get better like as a runner.
even more dangerous. 1,000 on the ground. So, yeah,
Yeah.
congrats to the Heisman finalists. Congrats to the Heisman winner. And let's just go through the awards quickly. Maxwell Award, Alvin Henderson, Walter Camp Henderson as well. Coach of the Year Award to he just renamed him. That's funny. To Nighthawk. quarterback of the year, Tommy Frazier. It'd be nice to see a
Oh,
little
tough.
more users up here. Defensive
This
player
blew
of the
me
year.
that
No,
CPU was took the defensive awards. So annoying when they do that.
again, defensive player of the year. Okay, okay. Jim Thorpe, defensive back of the year. Ole Miss. All right. Doak Walker, Alvin. Blitnikoff. Okay. First user would be Oklahoma. Sophomore. Okay. Don't see a lot of physical route runners, but I already like to see sure hands and platinum press pro.
They might be my favorite receivers in the game, to be honest.
Free game.
Them are like a fast contested specialist.
Yep.
Yeah, those broken tackles are killer to play against.
Yeah.
Might need to adjust. Might need to adjust something. They giving out free game again, just if you're not paying attention. Lombardi defensive lineman of the year.
That's a new user. He hasn't played a game. Hasn't played a game, but still got the award.
Be good for a little coach boost. Golden Arm, Cameron is the first one for the user. Edge rusher of the year, Tennessee and Florida would be the first for the users. Lineman of the year, Platinum Workhorse, Inside Shield, and Ground and Pound. And have the quarterback to take advantage. With Georgia coming up second, Notre Dame third. So don't sleep on them linemen, guys. If you need to recruit them. Don't, and they go early. Tight end of the year, J-Rod.
This is phony though, J-Rod. I hope you're listening, because can we go to his stats? We need to go to his stats. We got to go to his game by game. So as you can see here, the dude only got over 100 yards 3 times. Never had more than 1 touchdown in the game, except for a
South
CPU
Carolina.
game. The CPU game
Oh,
that J-Rod played.
This was a CPU game.
Yeah, he played it before the South Carolina user could get in.
Oh,
He
because
ran
that's
up
when
200
South
yards
Carolina
and
switched to Florida. Okay.
right, and he ran up 5 TDs and all these yards and whatnot. So yeah, words of fraud, but congrats, J-Rod.
All right.
He's still my man's, but
Assistant
that one's
coaches of
phony.
the years. Linebacker of the year. First one is Auburn for the users.
Yeah, that guy's a problem.
Center, Ohio State, still putting out good products from a freshman. Good to see. Good to see. So somebody else.
All the O-line awards are broken though. Like first team, I had Lyman McFirst Team All-America who didn't play for 2 games.
Be like that. You just need the points for the coach. Special team returner.
Oh yeah, nice preview for our feature back next year. Hopefully, Purple Shifty.
Is he still returning next year? Is the question.
Potentially, because I have a few good running backs, so maybe I can afford his wear and tear.
Gotcha. Freshman player of the year goes to the wide receiver out of Ole Miss.
This one ticked me off. Should have been my guy, but I feel him.
Almost 1,000 yards receiving, 14 touchdowns. All right.
Yeah, no, he deserves it for sure. He deserves it for sure.
Especially as a freshman. So that's what we got. We're gonna switch over and we're gonna try to talk about something a little different as far as what people had to go through to make it to a certain point and see how you feel about it. So we're gonna talk about strength of schedule records right now.
Oh yeah, can we see that document you have
on
this?
Give me one a second, and we'll see.
That would be elite. Oh.
Switch this. All right, there we go.
Oh, wow. We're here.
Mm-hmm. Zoom in a little bit.
This is fire. Jeez.
So yeah, just a little data entry. We got all 32 teams from the league, and we got their strength of schedule. The higher percentage, the stronger the strength of schedule. I don't know if you really care about the math. It's just number of games divided by opponents' wins. This does not have any computer games calculated in. So this is a pure user schedule, strength of schedule. Um, and then for records, we have everybody's records conference, and then the strength of schedule. But we'll go to the one that everybody really cares about, how they're ranked. Just giving a quick look at the list, we'll run down. Texas had by far the toughest strength of schedule between him and Arizona State over the rest of the league. Baylor is up there as well. I believe Baylor had 3 computers on the schedule, which means his schedule was concentrated with talent when he was playing user games. Nebraska is up there, I believe, short of the 2. I think, who is it? Navy and Stanford for the SEC, and then
Mm-hmm.
Arizona
And Vanderbilt, I
and
think.
Vanderbilt for the Big Ten. Those are their computer games. So those computer games weren't factored, and then any conference games by the computer weren't factored in for anybody. But we'll run through the list. Texas at number 1, Arizona Arizona State number 2, Baylor, Nebraska, Ohio, South Carolina, LSU, Clemson, and the shocker, Colorado, rounding out the
Wow.
top 10. Um,
That's crazy. Why is the schedule so hard?
I don't know.
Don't even feel bad for them ending up with the record they had. I mean,
Don't know. But
um,
they got 3 wins on a top 10 schedule. The next closest was Oklahoma State. So if anybody's concerned, it's just like the relegation is working as planned. As you see, the top 15, or for the most part, SEC, Big 10. You got your first Big 12 with Florida, and then your
South Carolina
outliers.
too.
Okay, sorry, but again, outliers. South
Mm-hmm.
Carolina with a tough schedule, Florida with a tough schedule, and then that wasn't even the same user all year, so we can't even necessarily give that a fair assessment across the board. But SEC Big Ten still plays the toughest schedule, and then Big 12 scattered in, filters in heavy, and then ACC is at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And any teams that just kind of pop out to you as surprisers or shockers on wins versus conference schedule, or schedule in general, excuse me. Bad word.
I mean, for me, South Carolina joined middle of the year. He actually played pretty good ball once he got in the league, but team was 0 and something when he got him.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, they had a tough schedule, and he's going down. It's a little bit interesting. Florida and Miami both really getting promoted with relatively tough schedules. Certainly some of the toughest schedules in the Big 12. And still fighting through to get promoted is pretty good stuff by them. So we'll be interested to see how they do next year when their schedules will be at least as tough as they were this year. Probably tougher. The other one, which we can't really see here because of the way it's sorted, is that we have someone in the semifinal who
Yep, hold on.
is in the semifinal having to play a single user game, and also, but he's made it to the semifinal with the easiest schedule,
By far.
kind of by far,
That's not even close.
outside of Washington being remotely close, but everyone else at 0.5,
Yeah, those two schedules aren't even
at
close.
least 5% higher, is pretty crazy. But shout out to him. I mean, clearly he had the most layup schedule of all time. Next year won't be the case, so it'll be really interesting as far as predictions for next year. I think that'll have a big impact on where I predict Georgia to finish next year when the schedule gets a lot tougher. I don't know if I'll go as far to say relegation because he has the line to dominate, but I don't think there's any chance of him winning the Big 12 like I thought there might have been. I mean, the schedule is just way too light. At the same time, though, Auburn's schedule is also very light. He found a way to not promote, so it'll be interesting how they are gonna do next season, or how I predict them doing next season. But yeah, this further solidifies my minus 23.5 against Clemson for Georgia. I mean, he's played nobody, so I mean.
Fries, how do you feel about after taking a peek at the strength of schedule? Any shockers or just your opinions on it?
Main thing is please don't let Texas see this document, bro, because he always wants to complain anyway. He's got it worse than everybody else, and he actually did this year. So let's hope he doesn't watch this pod. I don't want to hear about this for the next whole off season, please. Aside from that, for Colorado, man, he'd be showing up to his games eagerly, and just kind of tough schedule for the kid, especially compared to Georgia, you know. Uh, but shout out Georgia still, man. I'm playing him next, so he's he did what he had to do. He held it down.
Political. Yeah. After going through this and compiling the data, it was just, I don't want to say eye opening, but solidifies that the conferences were what they were. It was good to see that um, we didn't hear too much complaining about being in whatever conference, but the conferences lined up pretty well. You have your outliers, of course, but the average will tell you like the SEC and the Big Ten are beating each other up, and to be honest, they all still had pretty decent schedules. So they're winning the games they're supposed to, and then toss ups depending on who's at home or who's on the road. Uh, Big 12 is kind of consistently throughout the middle, like you said, J Rock, middle of the road schedule, but did what he had to do and then rounded out the season after starting off slow. So, but I expect that to get bumped up next year, especially depending on who's Big 10, Big 12, because only one of those teams from each are dropping. So it's gonna be rough. And if you ever had to complain about, oh, I had the toughest schedule, we got numbers now. We
Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see, looking forward to next year with the Big Ten and Big 12. I'm not going to even move. My initial plan was I was going to move conferences, but the way things are shaking out, I'll probably keep them exactly the same, except for the teams coming up and coming down. And I guess since it seems like the SEC was the tougher conference, um, even though they're actually pretty evenly split, it seems like. But let's just say, for the sake of what I'm about to say, that I'm going to give the nod to the SEC. I'll probably put Miami in the Big Ten and Florida in the SEC, since Miami won their conference below. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, for example, Florida State, by this, didn't necessarily have a tougher schedule than Miami or Florida, really. Um, Well, I guess they kind of did a little bit, but it's closer than you think. So I mean,
mm-hmm.
can Florida State stay in the league, especially after 2 years of losing out after a week like 7, playing against tougher competition, and just losing out? And he lost to Florida last year. I think. So,
Ooh, that's going to be Florida, FSU, and Miami all being in the top tier is going to be fun. Just because I believe Florida State is locked in for
locked in, yeah.
rivalry, and then
And then I think
Miami,
Miami will be in the same conference as Florida State, by the way
yeah.
I'm doing it. So
So
so he'll play both of them. But I think, he might be in a fight with them to stay in the league. That's what I would see. Now I think on the SEC on the other side, I mean, realistically, Florida gets set back down because the team gap is so wide. I don't know if I see him getting. I think I could see him like beating someone, like sneaking up and beating someone, but I don't know if I see him winning multiple games.
right.
So if you can't win multiple games, you're probably going down. I think you need to get at least 2 wins to kind of be in the safe zone.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I see it for Florida, especially in the SEC. There's no real weak link.
Gotcha. Franz, is this solidify any thoughts that you might have about people's conferences or schedules?
No, I think this makes sense for the most part. I think this is shows that commission had a pretty good idea because I mean you see kind of how it's shaped out. A lot of parity in the league, good comp, good opportunities, and also you compiling this. I think a lot of excuses are, at least this particular excuse, like we're not gonna hear it if Ole Miss or somebody was complaining, saying, "Oh, my schedule's too tough." I mean, the numbers show that it's really not. So just taking one more excuse away. But again, please don't let Texas see this. Again, if you're listening, don't mention it in the chat. I don't need Texas to see this. Thank you.
It's getting a little late for him, so we don't know if he's
Jeez,
watching.
bro.
But yeah, listen, I was glad to see the numbers. It just solidifies stuff for me. Just like, oh, I got the tough schedule. You can't say that. We can see who got the tough schedule. I normally probably won't be able to do this till closer toward the end of the season, just because it takes into account opponents' wins and losses. So I could probably do this middle of the season, but it still wouldn't be fully fleshed out because people could probably shuffle depending on records. So
Do you mind scrolling up? By the way, this is so dope. But also just a note in case y'all didn't see, but on the right side you see the approximate strength of schedule. So we got very strong. We have only Texas and Arizona State had very strong schedules. Strong schedule is looks like it's above 0.56 is strong schedule. So pretty much down to like Miami had a strong schedule. Miami had the weakest strong schedule. Just had to throw that out there because I know he's gonna listen and everything. But yeah, after that, I mean, you had an average, okay, schedule difficulty. So don't want to be hearing that. North Carolina with an average schedule is kind of crazy in the Big Ten. But yeah, just
yeah,
just to add to the way y'all read it. Um, only teams, only team with a below average schedule is Georgia,
Georgia
and whoever
definitely.
else the second team was down there, Georgia, Washington. Yeah,
Yeah, really
everybody
don't know how
else's
that
schedule
happens.
is everyone else's schedule is actually above average. It's actually like no average, if I'm reading the record correctly, because average is 0.47 to 0.42. Okay, so there's a couple teams with average, like 4 teams with average and 2 teams below average, which is kind of crazy. There's only 6 teams with average or below. That doesn't track, but
I could change the numbers to bump the bottom up,
no,
but
I mean it's all. This is great work. I'm just saying it's crazy that six teams are average or below.
again, and the only thing, if you were curious why we didn't have the computer games, just wanted to keep it as close to pure numbers because I know the ACC, I believe their numbers would get bumped up slightly because TCU was in their conference and TCU was 0 and 12, and then it would just make the disparity bigger. It wouldn't actually look good for the ACC and part of the Big 12, and then the SEC and the Big 10 would also spread apart further at the top because the teams that they played, I believe, were 7-5 and 5-7. So it would only add depending on how the math would work out. So if you were curious why we didn't add them, that's it. And then it wouldn't make it any different. The order would probably still be the order. It would just look more spread out than what it is.
Yeah, but once again, man, another just great add to the league by you. So shout out you. You know, I wonder, you have this file. I wonder, I might take this file and throw it into Claude and be like, yo, do an analysis of this just so I can like throw it in the league. I'll probably send it back to you actually so you can throw it in the league. Get a +1 for the article for you. But
Okay.
this is elite work, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Just interactive, Appreciate everybody being active in the Discord. That's the real thing. It's easy to do it when people are interacting with you. If it was just play the game and get off, it wouldn't be. But between J Roth crashing out for 24 hours and it's just was great, and everybody came to eventually. It's fun to be a part of. So, but I think that is all we have for right now. Oh, did you want to speak on rule changes for year 6? I know
Oh,
we didn't have conference winners, but we almost had somebody make the playoffs that wasn't in conference, their conference championship. So if you wanna talk about that.
yeah. So, some of the major rule changes is, yeah, like Terrell was mentioned, was that we'll make a rule so that if you make the if you make the playoffs from the ACC, regardless of if you make the conference championship or not, it'll be pretty tough to do. But someone was able to pretty much do it this year. Um, Debating if I should apply this rule to the Big 12, but I think not for the Big 12 because Big 12. I mean, I think if you're in the Big 12, there's some expectation before the season that you can make the playoffs,
For
regardless
sure.
if you're in the Big 12. So I think I'll just keep it to an ACC rule. But yeah, if you make the playoffs in the ACC, you're going up. We'll find a way. Big 12 will be 9 for that season or whatever. We'll alter things again later if need be as far as who gets relegated and promoted. Another big rule change is going to be the skill point cap. Mostly to just kind of try to keep things remotely fair with some of these teams that are out there, but you're going to have spent all your skill points down to 10 maximum for any player, unless you're, have some reason to not, if there's some badge or if you're trying to upgrade speed and speed is 12 or whatever, obviously we'll make an exception for that, but that's going to be law. And CPU games, we already have a bunch of CPU rules, games for CPU rules. We're going to be adding touchdown caps for each player per game. And we'll work on, exactly how many touchdowns that's going to be. I'm thinking 4 touchdowns max. Maybe I'll bump it up to 5. I don't know. I feel like I'm either going to make it just a number for everybody, or I might make it, a certain number for quarterbacks and then a certain number for everybody else. But haven't fully gotten it there yet, but we're definitely going to crack down on that because the 70-point scoring cap is great because it's a built-in 10 touchdown maximum for the team. But then when you go look and you see dudes have 9 touchdowns with their running back and the CPU, it's kind of game breaking. So gonna have to address that. But yeah.
Yes, sir. Frowls, how you feeling before your game, sir?
We're ready, man. We're ready. I think it should be kicking off within the next half hour, probably. So if anyone's trying to tune in,
Oh, for sure.
watch the chat.
Sure, be locked
But
into that one.
yeah, we usually depends on the day, but sometimes we talk a little crazy. So I might keep my party audio on as well. If dudes are interested in that, I might pop it on. But
Okay.
Also,
the
not trying to get canceled, so we say some crazy stuff sometimes.
the
So
big
both of those.
question. Are we getting OVO files today?
Nah, man, I'm actually visiting my parents for the holidays and New Year, so I can't act like I normally would want to. So
Oh
I'll be
man.
quiet. No, sir.
All right,
But
we might need to
I'm
move that spread
going back
down
to
back.
Florida soon. So. Yeah, it's gonna be different. But I've been playing. I mean, the whole playoffs have been at home. So yeah,
Okay.
that's gonna return next season though, because I'm going back on Sunday.
Gotcha.
We'll be back.
So, quick question for you, Bag and Fries. I know we're about to get to quarterfinals. I don't know if we've coordinated with Nighthawk with either user. What is potential off season looking like? Since it's perfect. It's
Uh,
lining up Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
yeah, I mean, which is great, right? Less excuses for everybody. I think we're gonna get this game out the way. Probably get the Natty out of the way today. Depending how early the Natty gets played, we'll probably do players leaving and for the rest of the night. Potentially to the morning. If this game gets played, before what, let's call it 3 o'clock, let's say somehow, then I'll probably move to the first week of the off season, at the end of the night. But if not, it'll be in the morning, and then I would assume just to try to get it all the way out of the way of the weekend, I'll probably do weeks 1 and week 2. Get to week 2 at some point on Saturday for sure. Potentially advancing to week 3 Sunday morning. But then definitely have all of that stuff done from 3 all the way to maybe even I could get through week 0 on Sunday. Honestly, I have to see. It'll depend on how the playoffs end. But I might just try to get through literally everything all weekend to like week 1 game time on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see. That'll be a little bit tricky because you got the preseason and week 0 where dudes got to get in and recruit. So we'll see.
Gotcha. Uh, if you're still listening, thank you for coming out. Thanks for listening. Listen, if you don't like what we have to say, change it on the field. We'll put it in the Discord. We appreciate it. I know we didn't get to hear everybody's favorite part of the podcast, which was the power rankings, but we got the strength of schedule to hold us over for now. And then hopefully we'll see if we can finagle something. Try to get a preview Sunday ish or for week 0, especially with the new conferences coming in. But appreciate you listening. Thank you, Bad Work Files. I appreciate you. Good luck today, fellas. Have a good weekend and Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man. Back at you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate everything you do, man.
Salute.
No